Have you been involved in any of those pranks?
I've
Masterminded
been on
anything?
the other end of it.
Oh, you've been pranked.
I've been pranked. It was once, it wasn't anything major. Again, I'm very OCD. I'm a very clean, organized person. I think you know maybe where I'm going with this. So that some of my friends, and I had this like bunk bed system in my room. We used to stay in these smaller rooms now, but this is before the new dorm. We call it like the little matchbox, you know. So they're tall, but they're very skinny.
Okay.
So the only way to go is up, you know. So like I got this bunk bed system going that somebody gave me. I inherited it from another deacon who had left. And so the bed was up there, and at the bottom was just like a desk area. Anyway,
Okay.
so all this to say, like my mattress was just like off of it, hanging, flying out somewhere else. They had put a bunch of like toilet paper in there, and they had put all my stuff was just out of order. And also, it also didn't take a whole lot to get to me because for me, like if I have like 3 pillows in a certain order in my bed, they were just like out or like inverted. The sheets, like everything was just out and everywhere. Drawers were just open. Like
Okay.
and like layered out open, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I hated to be in my room. I was like, and even the rug, like my little carpet was like off centered, and I'm just like, it drove me so crazy.
You said your mattress was off? What do you mean?
Like it wasn't like in the bed frame. It was just like hanging out.
Oh.
So again, it was tall, right? So
they knew
like it was
how
flying.
OCD you were. So they went in and they just thought, let's just make this rug a little crooked. This is going to drive him crazy. Let's open these things.
Yeah.
So it wasn't huge, but it was driving you nuts.
Oh, it worked. Trust me, it did the job for me. I wasn't mad. I actually did laugh with them. They also kind of primed me by sending me a picture. Like it was a proud selfie of all of them in my room as a mess. So that was just like, what is happening? Whose room are you in? I get there and I'm like, it's my room. And then eventually I laughed. I laughed really hard.
Who was in the picture?
A few of the guys had already discerned out. I think now Deacon Fernando from the Diocese of Austin, who's one of my classmates, was there. Another friend, his name is Jeffrey Yashek, he was there. Nick Aparicio. I can't think of the rest of them. I have to find the picture again. But those were the biggest.
That's funny how they just did these small things and it drove you nuts.
It's a small house. Like you know how to get to each other, you know, and how to hit those nerves. So yeah.
I mean, they didn't have to do anything crazy like wrap things in plastic or you know, anything that some people do, you know, wrap everything in tinfoil. Nope, they just moved a few things and they're like, this is going to drive them crazy. That's hilarious.
And so I eventually became someone who spent a lot more time with the community in seminary. So my door would be always open. So every now and then one of my classmates would always like go in my room just slightly because my bed was by the door and would just like knock the pillow over. And I would get to my room, and I'm just like in my room trying to work, and then I turn around, and I'm like, why is this down? This is bothering me that it's down. Or like this was moved off center. I've learned to tame that a lot more. Don't get me wrong. Like I've learned to let go of a lot. You can literally ask my formator because this year I got to do my house job was flowers, so it's altar flowers.
Okay.
Which I was like, I did gardening during the COVID when I came back in that third year when we were in lockdown at seminary. I love getting like working like that, getting my hands dirty, you know, digging holes, kind of thing. Like this is cool. I can like meerkat, right? That was some sort of animal. I'm like a meerkat.
Yeah.
I'll dig holes. I will learn about this. I will learn how to propagate a plant. Like this is kind of cool because I was limited to going out and getting new stuff. So when they said you're gonna do altar flowers now, and I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. This is not at all the same. Yes, I could be creative, but like this is not the same. I don't know how to keep them like in one place like that and create whateverness. Like no, I learned how to do it, and then there were days when I would be really frustrated with it, and other days when I would eventually. My formator was there in the sacristy when I was working, and he's like, how's it going? I was like, you know what, this thing has fallen, like it has knocked over twice already. I've used already 4 blocks of foam. I'm done. And I remember one time it was also kind of falling over again. And I just held on to it with one hand. And I remember looking for something like just to hold it in place. I found a knife. And I just like stuck the foam and stuck it all in together. And it worked. And that's when I realized, oh, I can let go of this. Like, this is not. And sure enough, I would just put it on the altar. I wasn't worried about like, is this rose on the left side matching with the other right side on the tabernacle? Like, is it symmetrical?
Also, that's how OCD you were.
That's how OCD I could have been and was, I guess, yeah.
So that was a lesson for you.
I let that go immediately because flowers challenged me to realize we grow and we do things differently, and they blossom at different times and they die at different times. And I'm like, well, I'm not dealing with you for more than a week. So once I put water in your little pot thing, we're done.
When you become a priest, do you think that the parishioners or the staff or the acolytes and the deacons and the altar kids are going to say, oh, it's Father Luis. He wants everything perfect. We got to make sure everything's in the exact right place.
That's a fair question. I hope that they might say that, yeah, but I hope that they're not tormented by that question.
Okay.
I hope that I can instill a more relaxed, hey, I'm not expecting you to do this for me. I can do this myself if I'm going to do it. Like, don't think that it's on you to do it. Yeah. Because this is also just kind of part of the way even I was conditioned back at St. Ignatius. Father Norbert is also very meticulous and very particular, which is good to have at a parish. And I think when I adapted that talent, I took it as my own and just ran with it, and then it made this OCD person. So I remember when we would have our chapel, it was these wide doors, and the Paschal candle had to be right in the middle of the line of when the two doors met.
Okay.
So I was always very careful to do that. And I remember even Father Norbert would come in and would adjust that. So it's like, I can let go. It's okay.